Hi, welcome to the channel, or welcome back. For those who don't know, my name is Amber Campbell. I'm an author and an editor, and today I'm going to be talking about creating joy from my work after choosing unemployment. Really quick breakdown for those who are brand new to my channel with this video. I quit my job back in March, and I've since talked about how less stressed I am in general and how I am finding just happiness and self-sufficiency and in doing everything that I have been building up to so that I could quit my corporate retail sales job. There are two other videos talking all about it. The first one's a full-on rant about the lovely company I worked with. I did not mention them though. The second one is talking about that self-sustainability. There we go. Wow. Okay. But today I want to take a little bit of a, I guess, tangent, if you will, and just kind of focus on creating that joy and not allowing outside pressures to affect me as much as they have, especially in the last 5 or 6 years. Firstly is new focus on my businesses. As I mentioned, I'm an author and an editor, so some of my goals for this first 3 months after quitting my job are going to be finishing the first draft of a brand new fiction manuscript, finishing the first draft of my next poetry collection, submitting to 9 literary magazines for individual pieces, building my YouTube community, and celebrating 17 years on the platform as of today. No, I have not been consistently uploading videos since 2008, but this channel was created in 2008. And lastly, expanding my editorial services and discovering new clients via my own website, which I do plan, again, to have that up in the first 3 months having quit my job. And the biggest reason that I have decided just to really dive into this, not only because I need to, but also because this is what I love. I have my degree in creative writing. I have been writing stories since I was 10 years old. And I have been tutoring the English language pretty much since I was 22 back in college. Well, actually the year after college is when I got my first job, working as a tutor. So these are all things that I've always wanted to do and I've always wanted to pursue, and there is joy simply in that. And I understand we all can't pursue dream jobs, if you will, because most people, you know, with the oldest example I can think of is garbage men. You know, everyone's like, I don't want to grow up and be a garbage man. Firstly, there's a lot of children who want to do that. And grocery baggers. I was one of those. I wanted to be a grocery bagger when I was a kid. But it's also a thing of not everybody wants to work at what they love either. So you have to figure out what kind of person you are. Do you want to work doing what you love, or do you want to go to work so that you can come home and focus on what you love? So you just have to figure out which one you are and which path you want to go down. So for me, creating joy, it goes so much deeper than just doing what I love. It's also understanding how what I do for work directly affects everybody else in my life. So for right now, whenever somebody buys one of my books, whenever somebody decides to work with me on their own manuscript, then that decision directly affects me, my family, my clients, and my readers. I know every single hand that is involved in my businesses at that sense. Do I meet my readers? No. But they purchase something from me that I then immediately see, regardless of which seller or distributor they bought it from. So it's having that contentment in knowing that I'm not simply building an empire for someone else for yet another $47 million, of which I got less than a percentage of while I worked there. So it's that joy in knowing everything I do I can directly relate to or directly reach. This also leads back to everything I earn goes into my local economy, whether it is a small chain grocery store, a farmer's market, local thrift stores, and I'm not talking about Goodwill. I'm talking about the ones that have really weird names because that's the only thrift store that this person or this family owns. So it's knowing that everything I'm doing is directly affecting my community now, and I love that I can help and that I can be involved even without knowing everybody in my community. But I know that the majority of my money is going back to that after we pay these lovely things called bills, you know. But it's also allowing me, because I run freelancing services, I write books, all of that I can do from my home. So I'm spending more time with my dogs. And for anybody who has dogs, they know how hard it is to leave them in the morning. I don't know how it is for the human children, but I know animals never grow out of that phase where they're sick of seeing you. Dogs never leave that. I also get to focus on my growing garden that I have mentioned quite a lot in this past month, and I am hoping that in the next 3 to 5 years can actually grow enough food to help sustain my family. So yet another kind of self-sufficiency that I'm really striving for there. And lastly, it's just autonomy. So if I want to go outside and sit in the sun in the middle of the day because I'm getting tired, or I just feel like I need sunlight, I can go do that. If I want to spend the day reading a book, I can do that. If I want to turn off my cell phone and unplug for a few hours or an entire afternoon, I can do that. If I need to stop working to go take a walk and clear my head, I can do that. There's no consequences, there's no interruptions. It is purely a matter of, you know, trusting your employee, and I am my employee and my boss, so I am trusting myself, hey, you're going to take this break, and then we're going to just dive right back into it. And I'm able to dive right back into it because my mind is already so much clearer now that the stress is finally starting to chip away. So if you are not new here, then you have already seen I've got 2 other videos centering around quitting my job. And I am low-key making this part of my personality for a hot minute. Which basically, there's other things I am quitting besides just my evil corporate job. And one of them is social media, but not all social media, because you'll have some people arguing YouTube is a social media. It is. I mean, yeah, I've had friends way back when. Back when you had channel, oh my gosh, what were they called? Channel boards? I can't remember, but you could go and leave comments just on the channel. It didn't have to be a video. But for me, I use social media as a way to connect with other authors, other editors, but also just to find entertainment, to find education, to find whatever it is I need in that moment. So for me, yes, there is a community aspect to it if you want there to be. You can have a YouTube channel and never interact with anybody if you did not want to. So for me, I've already deleted my LinkedIn, I've already deleted my Pinterest account. I haven't had Snapchat since I was in college, and don't have TikTok. Eventually, I'd like to be done with Facebook and Instagram. Instagram would be a little bit slower going just because that is where I post a lot of my poetry snippets, and tried to get some pre-orders, but after my last 2 releases, it hasn't really pushed it as much as it did with my debut. So I don't see a reason to focus so much on it when I could be putting my energy into YouTube, where I see a lot more engagement and it's a lot easier to build community here, which doesn't make any sense because you would think it's easier to build a community on one that's just more readily available to comments and DMs and things like that. But basically, Facebook is family, it's private, it'll probably be up forever even if I only check it like when I have a release essentially. But I want to put my Instagram down to 1 to 2 posts a week versus 5 to 7 times a week, which is what I was doing because it is completely stalled out. There's so many YouTube videos that have talked about how the algorithm has changed yet again, and quite frankly, I am tired of following it to see what the heck it is now. The second thing I am in the process of quitting, is short-term videos. If you've been around, you may have remembered my social media burnout video I posted sometime last fall. And yes, I'm still working on limiting my short-term video watching because I have noticed that the days when I am watching more of them is when I'm already feeling down, I'm already really tired, something may have come up. And I say this as a reflection of the last 6-7 months. So for me, I am finally at that point where I'm like, oh, I'm watching a lot of Instagram Reels or a lot of YouTube Shorts, which means I'm stuck in something, and I need to focus on what that is so I can get out of it and go back to being joyful and creative and productive, because I am a very productive person. I enjoy doing things to get them done. And so limiting that short video consumption will help. And then the third thing I'm giving up, if you could not already tell from my I quit my job series, I said that with quotations, I did quit my job, I promise. My manager is still very upset with me. Is fast-paced living. There are, again, tons of YouTube videos talking about this, but I'm specifically talking about videos uploaded by Katie Steckley and Kate Cassidy. I'll link their channels down below. Katie Steckley posted it this week. The video from Kate Cassidy is a little bit older, but it's basically talking about how we have overconsumed the short-term videos and the constant onslaught of information and entertainment, and that it's not only exhausting us, but it's putting us in these high stress instances. And the best way I can think to say it, and this is something I read off a comment from the Kate Cassidy video, is that you see a 10-second video and you get really happy. The next one makes you really sad. The next one's really happy. The next one makes you angry. That is a wide range of emotions to experience in 60 seconds with just like 6 to 8 videos. And I've noticed that, unfortunately for me, with Threads, which is a social media I didn't even write down earlier, but I love Threads. I love that it's just a basically nicer version of Twitter, or what Twitter was back in 2013 when I was on it, where it was just basically bookish community and art people. But for me, my emotions can't handle that flip-flopping anymore of constantly having something good and then bad and then good and then bad. For me, my Threads page is either half politics and half bookish. It doesn't even matter if the politics are leaning to the side that I lean to. It's still just bad news. It's not even, it's not a case of like, oh look, these are my people. It's like, no, darn it, I have people regarding these issues, and like I wish that we didn't have these issues. Like, forget the people, right? Like, I'm grateful to these people that were standing up, but it's like, we shouldn't have to stand up for certain things. It's exhausting. But it's just, I need to quit that fast-paced lifestyle, and the biggest driver behind that is the social media in general. So obviously, once I get off Instagram, I will get off Threads, because there is no direct link to Threads, which I'm very grateful for. But I hope that the slower living, the more focus on reading, writing, and creating, editing, gardening, just being outside, will hopefully give me a physical and mental reset, like a hard reset, so that I can hopefully better manage my stress, because that's something, as I've mentioned, I am just really bad at dealing with stress, and I've basically forced myself into these stressful scenarios for no reason, like none at all. And like, yes, I can't control what's happening in the world. I can't control, you know, what somebody else's emotions are, but I can control whether I am getting an overabundance of those emotional responses to me, especially when it's not face-to-face conversation. And you know, my mind already thinks it's constantly being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, when now I should be worried about dire wolves attacking me, because those are back. And seriously, oh my gosh, if anybody touches stone amber, we will not make it, because we can't deal with whatever diseases the stupid mosquitoes are carrying, okay? So, this was, I think, much more relaxed than my other ones, so hopefully that is... words. Yeah. Conducive? Is conducive the word I'm looking for? That's okay. I'll think of it. It's alright. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy writing stuff, that is the majority of my channel. Go check out my writing vlogs. I'm doing weekly writing vlogs while I work on that first draft I talked about way in the beginning. And for my mother, if you like it, please hit like, subscribe, share, all the clicky button things. And I will see you guys next week for maybe another rant. I don't know. We will see what this carries for us. But you guys have a great day, a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.